Okay, I'm just going to set this up here first, and I'm starting a little early. I'm going to put this information out. Give me a second here, and I'm going to talk about this update as well. Just give me a second here, people. Okay. All right, I don't know why this is working here. Did I put this all out? Okay, so as you can see, give me 1 second again. As you can see here, what I've done is I'm starting with my YouTube channel here, and I show you that live stream on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Canada. Therefore, you have to figure out your time zone to match my time zone. Okay, and so I'm starting off a little early because the live stream right now I started at about a few minutes beforehand, so that I can set things up. So the live stream hasn't started yet. Then of course we're waiting for people to come in, and then we're going to go to the chart. So again, that's when the live stream starts. It's for people who miss it. You have to think with your brain a little bit, right? But if you look at this on the banner, it shows you the time of the live stream, and I do these usually weekly. Of course, if you follow me on my Twitter, you'll see me post those updates as well. So hold up, people. I'm going to just we're going to start soon. It's still a few minutes early. I want to just I want to get a few things all settled in, and it's going to be a really great. I think I put enough information out there. I just want to do another one for the. Let's see what happens when you do this here. Yeah, it does bring you there. Okay, interesting. Okay, that's good. So a person can click on there. So give me 1 second here. Oh, it's not now. It's not showing it like it did. Why is that? Give me 1 second here, people. Again, we are starting the live stream a little early. I'm just trying to. Looks like I gotta copy all those damn information. This is Twitter. I mean, the StockTwits has a little funny way of doing things. The Twitter is out there. Okay, and let's see what happened. Back to the main board here. Do I see information? No. Where's that? Where is my main video here? Live dashboard. Okay, so I see that over here. Hello, everybody. Hello. We're going to start soon. Again, you know, it's early. It's not exactly 9:30 yet, and I want to get this information out there. Where is this? It's live. Now I copied this link. Let me do this. I'll do this. You know what? Let me just copy this link again, and then I'll go to the post. Just press one more time here. Live stream on now. All right, so I've done that. Okay, so that being said, people, it's 9:30 now, and we're gonna wait for some more people to come in. And we got a great live stream here, people. Again, I went over this part here, so we're gonna put the charts up. We're gonna go soon. Hello, everybody. Hello, Eric. Hello, hello, hello. We're gonna go. I want to talk about what I do differently here, and again, I demonstrated this all year. Okay, and what's the big difference is that I'm about real direction in the market. Okay, so since 2019. or 18, many all throughout the whole. My key was the market is bullish. We are going along the right positions, okay? And I maintained this stance throughout 2016, 17, 18, and 19, and I've been massively correct. Now, without that being said, it was based on adaptive thinking and a different type of mindset, and of course being able to understand what the market is really saying. Okay, people, so I want you to understand this now. Now, this is what a lot of people lack in. Okay, it's not just the charts that you see here me post. This is just one representation of what the market. But I talk to people, I look at the scans, I have a lot of experience, I put it all together, and that's what is lacking out there. A lot of these services really have no clue what they're talking about, right? I'll give you an example, people. Disney. You know, when some people were just buying Disney on the like before that move on a bounce when stuff like Apple was breaking out. Now we've had four winning plans in a row in Apple, and again, where other people say, yeah, but the difference is when Apple goes higher, people start thinking it's too high, right? And they don't know whether they should go in or not. And the difference with me is I know when we should continue going in more something and when we should not. Now that being said, doesn't mean that we are right 100% of the time, but we are right more often than not, and in a big way. And the key is to catch the winners in the right kind of stocks as best as possible, right? And I talk about the sun and the rain and the right mindset so that you're able to catch the right gains in the right way in both difficult market conditions and, of course, like now, even though the market, listen, as the market keeps going higher, there's people who are saying, oh, it's too high, it's a short. And I'm telling you, with a lot of experience out there, there are people who are saying that they have been massively wrong and they look like what I say, stock clowns. Now, you as an individual has to start to think about yourself, saying, how did I think about the year? The year, was I as bullish as PowerTarget Trade? Did I really catch a lot of great winning plans, like what PowerTarget Trade shows on his YouTube channel? Lots of so much document. There's a lot of work put in there, documented to help people realize the difference between what real leadership is and how I can help people succeed and do well, right? But it still requires the right mindset. You still got to study. You still got to take the right action. But if you're afraid to do things, right? If you don't understand about the sun and the rain, that's why I do these live streams, to educate people, to empower. But you want to look at the big picture. There's it's up to you to start realizing that there's been a big shift. Let me explain this now. 2016 to 2020, which you were in, is a very key pivotal moment where I have encapsulated this moment, meaning that the people, which is very few, have been correct the big picture to the long side, have a good future and know what's going to happen. Those that have not done that are all classified as clowns, in my opinion, meaning that they don't have any ability. They won't do very well long term, and that's including whether it's an individual investor or most of those services out there. They are clowns. If they we haven't, we've caught a lot of Apple. Okay, first of all, I'm a long term, and Apple is a leading stock in the market. Okay, it's the first $1 trillion company. So if you're not making crazy gains in Apple, you have no skill right off the bat, right? We've had four winning plans in Apple, and that's due to adaptive thinking, people. You have to understand this, right? And leadership, where people are fearful to say, it's too high, Apple. I say, no, it's going higher, and it goes higher. And then we go higher and higher and higher, unless I see there's a problem. But if we were fearful and we do not make the proper assessment and understanding why a stock should go higher and why it shouldn't, you miss out on a lot of gains. Roku, a lot of huge winning plans, all documented on my YouTube channel. BA, same as well, right? Disney, we caught a huge gain in Disney. And again, Disney now is really set up for higher prices again. There's a lot of opportunity in Disney as well. So 22 people, I think the stock clown though he's been handling. I'm pretty sure the stock clown John is in here. So it's 22 people already. A stock clown John. People like the stock clown. They've been bearish the market. People give you an example, and they've been massively wrong. Year after year after year after year after year, just making fun of people, spreading bad rumors, not helpful at all. I, on the other hand, have been a true leader, really helping the people and getting people into the right plans, being able to trade companies uh, with many different size accounts, stuff like Apple, Google, Amazon, Tesla, BA. Uh, I've also gave great advice on AMD long term, and of course AMD is doing well. So many things that I've called out about AMD at 12 as a major shift, I've been massively right. Where people like the stock clown, which I call old world thinkers, have been nothing but massively wrong, and to this day continue to be clownish and clueless of real market direction. These are people that are going to be gone, long gone, a few years from now. They're just going to be more clownish people. However, people in my group, I train my group to make more and more gains because it's a free group where people see the value, follow my rules, and then they send gifts because I know the value in what I am showing, and the right people see it and they do very well, and I give the right leadership, the right mental attitude, the right training. Okay, and in a way, it's almost like it's an opportunity for those smart enough to see it and understand. And I say those smart enough. Many are not smart enough. They are dumb dumb. Very simple. Like the stock now. All right now. So that being said, people, as we can see, we've hit my targets practically 310. And I've been talking about this in the fear over here, back in August, back in September. Stock clown, it's going to fall, it's going to fall. PowerTarget Trade correct. PowerTarget Trade correct. Month after month, I've been doing live streams every week. Okay? And if you go back to every live stream, you will see I've been massively correct the big picture over and over. And not to mention all the massive winning plans with skill, all documented step by step from my group onto PowerTarget Trades. And I give people advice. I've been telling people, listen, it's not so much just getting into the stock plans, but how you manage them. There are people who don't follow rules. This is why I kick people out, because I tell them, listen, you don't want to be going too heavily in a stock like Tesla and not in something like Apple. Apple is something you would go heavier in, as I've told people that is one of the most important stuff. And Tesla is something, if you do have good funds in, you still should go lighter in Tesla. Okay, Tesla can pay very well, but if there's some people they see the great crazy gains we catch, but don't understand that to catch Tesla you have to trade it correctly. It is a lot more whippy stock, and yes, we do catch crazy gains, but you have to be able to absorb losses from time to time in order to catch the gains with skill. I teach about catching gains with skill with rule sets that work time and time again. This is why we do so well, okay? But it's not so simple of just getting into one plan. It's a matter of getting into a few plans, managing them well, and then if we're in getting into the new plan, especially if it's recommended. And I've given this advice to people that go too heavy, not follow the advice, and don't manage their accounts properly because they didn't follow my advice, right? So, example, I'm going to give a little tip again on an example. Let's say I have a $10,000 account, which is minimum, which I recommend people come into my group. Now, with a $10,000 account, I recommend no more than 2 contracts per plan, unless there's a special occasion like with Apple. I would have recommended more. But the majority of the time, it's 2 contracts per plan, okay? And if there's going to be a Tesla, for a person with a $10,000 account, there'd be one option, okay? One option per plan, okay? And of course, that then gets larger as a person has a larger account. And when you're catching gains with skill, okay, via my rules, via my plans, you can then increase your size and have that proper money management and grow properly with skill for a long-term success. It's not about the quick buck. Everybody can make a one quick shot, but it's being consistent over and I've demonstrated this year after year. And between 2016 and 2020, it's been massive fear, political issues left, right, and center, all kinds of problems. And in the end, PowerTarget Trade has led the people to a higher market. Talked about Apple 200, we're smashing. We smashed 200. Then we smashed the 230 targets. And all the different targets that I've created based on adaptive thinking, based on what I was saying, I got us into those plans with options. And of course, me being a long-term holder, killing it in Apple. Skill is people who made money in Apple. Baby, not Apple. Very simple. No Apple gains, no skill, right? You're doing little penny trucks, penny stock, no skill, okay? That's gambling casino mentality, right? The real companies are what drives the market higher, okay? Apple doing well. You got the key companies not doing well, it's not going to be good for anybody. Okay? Reality is a lot of key companies are doing well. Again, hence why the market's doing well, and hence why I remain bullish the market year after year, month after month, week after week, with plans, winning with a skill. All right, now, so we talked about Apple. Again, we've achieved the plan. Of course, we're going to test where the SPY go. Definitely we can go higher, but we're going to manage it plan by plan. SPY 315, 320, 325, all possible. Continuously going higher, right? We are going to manage it. We have hit my targets. I have massively cemented myself in history as being the most correct person in the entire market. Guaranteed, all documented on my YouTube channel. I will have massive weapons to back me up all the time. It's all documented for people to pay me the dollar bills. So listen, you got a powerful manager to help you succeed for free. You got to follow the rules, and it all works out. It all works out. Trust me. Even my group is very unique, people. Very unique. Any questions for the big picture leader? Wine kind. Hello. Did Tesla lose it? No. Tesla didn't lose its strength. Tesla has moved a lot. Let's talk about Tesla. I got a good question. So let's talk about Tesla. So you have to understand something, right? Now, Tesla has moved a lot. And even when you do all the right things, right? Because we were winning on our third plan, okay? But it was one of those things where Tesla, it could have kept on going. We did a lot of the right things, but it can relax. Tesla is going way higher. This is a long-term, but it doesn't matter. Look at, we caught some huge, before the two winning plans in a row, huge. By the way, the options that went from $400 to $3,000 an option, right? That's what we want to try to catch massive gains. That's what I try to do in every plan. Now, and the third plan here, we were up actually, but because holding it properly, we then took small losses compared to the wins. Oh, small losses, baby losses. And I could have taken gains. We were up. In fact, we were up more than what we lost in. But trying to hold it properly, because I'm about winning listen, as soon as you change your mentality, you become a fearful trader, you will not catch the big gains, right? So loss is a part of gain. As long as you do all the right things, the gains will power through the losses. And you look at my videos, you'll see for yourself, right? And so Tesla just did what Tesla had to do. Tesla has moved up a lot. You have to understand, Mirza, that Tesla was at 254, and we practically moved almost 100 points in a couple of weeks' time. And so it's up to them to balance things out, Maybe there was, they already had squeezed enough for the bears that, whatever the reasons are, Tesla's definitely going higher, but they just didn't make it easier this time, and it was working. I mean, we had good gains at Tesla. I was looking for the real gains, the huger gains. I could have locked out gains and be like a little chicken trader. I could have locked in gains easily. We had it multiple times, somewhat gains, but I chose to catch the big shot, because if I had missed the big gains, being fearful, That's what I would be upset with. But since we've killed it with Tesla, it's okay. So Tesla's gonna do what Tesla's got to do, right? This is what's happening. Even when you do the right things, but the reality is, like I said, if you want to catch the gains, Mirza, you have to understand that you have to continue doing what is right. That's why I talk about the sun and the rain, right? Because if I handled the market like the rain days, which was a month or two ago, we wouldn't be catching Apple 4 or 5 times in a row, right? Right now it's 4 times in a row, 4 winning, and we're talking about back to back to back to back to back. We had the November 15 stock clown Paul. November 15, 250 calls, right? Not 260, 250. Then I moved into other options, okay? And so all documented inside of my group, right? We got a really good price on those. I mean, we killed it. If I would have just held my 250s, the gains would have been even larger. Okay? But I did lock in some strong gains with those options, with skill, with massive skill, and then making another adjustment. We had just come off of 4 winning plans in Apple in a row. I mean, 3 in a row with a fourth one. We're talking about the Apple run. So let's put up Apple, people. My favorite stock, the one where I've been massively, and I mean massively, correct the big picture. Not just baby correct, I'm talking about massively. I mean, I wiped the mop off the floor off the most of those clowns out there. There hasn't been a person on Twitter or anyone that has been as correct with option plans as yours truly, within so few plans. Incredibly, we caught this whole run, and we're going to catch more, much more in Apple. All in my group, all documented. You want to get inside of listen, you want to study my YouTube channel, it's as powerful as it seems, but listen to me, it still requires work and dedication, asking questions, studying what I'm saying in my live streams. I'm telling people, listen, you've got to manage things. If you trade like a fearful investor, you won't succeed long term. You're going to be missing gains. How many times have people said, oh, if I only held, I missed so much? Because your mindset's wrong. You don't have belief in your plans. You're getting into the wrong stocks. And then, so sometimes people are winning for the right or wrong reason due to getting into stocks by luck. They don't have. When you're a skillful trader, when you're doing things for the right reasons, which is what we do, which is what I do all the hard work. Right? You won't know, very few people, if any, will be able to do as well as simply being in my group. But the key is still to manage your account properly. Right? And that's why I give that advice and I make these live streams to explain the importance of managing. And I mean, it's littered everywhere. If you listen to my live streams, you'll understand how I explain the importance of a lot of things. Hello, Trader SB. 28 people, stock clown John. Stock clown John. So people, and I guess there's new people out there. So we talk about Apple. Anybody have questions about some of the great winning plans you've witnessed on my YouTube channel? Any questions? Any questions out there? Because this live stream, definitely, I want to keep it more. I've so much. I've gone through all the joy. I've already gone through all the great happiness of me being massively right. Where do you see the next resistance for Apple? I don't see any resistance for Apple. I wish I knew exactly, but what I do think is that I see Apple going to something like 275, 280 easily from here into the new year. I mean, we could go even more than that, to be honest with you, David. How is BA set? Well, BA is a plan that I have we're going to be looking at, but we are waiting for the proper confirmation. So that's a good question. How do I come up with the confirmation number? Well, that's one of my skills. What I do is it's first of all, there's a lot going behind it, right? It's not just what you see. It's not just the charts here, okay? What you see here. It's a combination of things. It's experience. It's a rule set, Ravi. It's high stock market investing. Yeah, Apple 300. That's right. Oh, for sure. Actually, stock market investing, Apple 350 long term, in my opinion. It's got a lot more to go. But 300, yeah. 300 possibly by the end of the year. But I'm happy. Listen, I'm happy we go to 275, 280 before the end of the year. I'll be happy with that. But Apple could do better. We'll adapt and we'll think. Yeah. Right now, Costco and Walmart, I don't like because they are. I did like them, but like as I said, as an adaptive thinker, they're subpar performance and need to prove themselves. If I put up Costco, one of the problems with Costco, in my opinion, is that we need a strong close at 305, in my opinion, and then some sort of a follow through. There's a lot of potential, but it has to start to get rid of it. There's been a lot of issues in this 305 area, as you can see. And so I've avoided Costco. Plus, it's not been very reliable. So I have been avoiding Costco and Walmart, as there's better stocks like Tesla, like Apple, for example. As you can see, where Costco has gone to sideways, I got my group into Apple. I didn't get our group into Microsoft like another clown that went into Microsoft and was messaging me telling me how great smart he was when we were in Apple killing it, when Microsoft barely moved. Again, people don't even know what to choose, right? They trade like a lot of old world thinking advice out there. People, listen to me. Most people have learned from old world thinkers. That's in the past. They didn't catch Apple gains because they're an old world thinker. You want to be with a new world thinker, a new era thinker, okay? Which is me, PowerTarget Trade. I have the market in the palm of my hand for decades now. I know this from understanding the key pivot of 2016 and how I depicted the market. And I said this back in 2017. I explained, the shift. I should go over what I said. You know what? I can tell you what. I want to go over what I said about the SPY, people. Let's go over the SPY. I want to go over this carefully one more time. We're going to go with the monthly charts. It's a really good story because, I depicted this, back in 2000, back up in 2018, when I talked about bull flag. As I told the stock clown, I was massively correct against stock clown. You see where we are, stock clown, John? We're 309.10 SPY. The stock clown, and I explained why the stock clown was massively wrong, called the SPY a bubble at 225. Now, there's some big significance here between old world thinker and new era thinker. I smash and destroy the old world thinkers. They are old world dinosaurs. Right? I have the knowledge of the past, which is damaging to a lot of people for the new era of success. Their thinking and how they buy, everything is wrong by being 50% right only. And they have some things right, but they still don't understand. A lot of people do not know how to identify even what is the best stock to get into as well as me. Okay, so let's get back to the SPY. So I said that the SPY between 2008, we'll say 96 to 2013 was in a channel / wedge panel. And when we broke out of that in 2013, that was a massive shift. Now, when other people like Carl Icahn was bearish in 2016, massively wrong again. I called for a market reversal in 2016 February, where the world record was massively wrong and embarrassed by me, not to mention Carl Icahn. And I succeeded with 5, 6, 7 winning SPY plans in a row with option plans, called for higher markets. And I never stopped my stance of higher markets since then. Whether the market went lower, I had adaptive measures and plans. That's the difference between new, and this is why I say I have captured the market. I have this documented. I have weapons at my disposal. I have people to, listen, no one in their right mind, after looking at my YouTube channel carefully, would want to argue with me. But as I said, the stock cons don't argue with me. If they would argue with me, I have so much weapons and information to like, I would bet millions on anything I say, that how I was right, all that stuff, and they were not. They couldn't, they would, listen, no one can tell you, not the world record holder would be able to be as right as me, or was as bullish if he was to go through all his documentation. Nobody out there. No one. In fact, even stock market investing, let me tell you something. I remember this, stock market investing had a video on Vanguard. And Vanguard, a huge, remember this stock market investing? I want you to answer this. Remember Vanguard back in 2018 was talking about the probability of a market crash, right? They did not see this coming. Am I not right? Stock market investing. Remember Vanguard video? Remember what they were saying about the market? Were they clueless? Were they not massively wrong? And they manage a lot of money. Were they as correct as me in the big picture? Were they keeping a bullish tone in August? No. Let me go back to the daily here. So massively, if we go back to all my videos, I depicted the SPY going higher. First was 300, and then, of course, during this thing, I said, we are going to go to 310, 305, 310, as long as there isn't a political issue. And of course, no political issue came up that could derail the market, because that's the only thing was, because the market was saying very bullish to me, and we made a lot of winning plans, and I was massively correct. Predicted AT&T. What's that? Stock market investing. Vanguard. You remember the Vanguard video? And if I and I don't know if he's around, but or he's typing. But the Vanguard, he had a Vanguard video, and I remember this very clearly. And they did not depict the market going here. They didn't have any of these targets. In fact, they were talking more about a market crashing, having a higher probability to crash. So again, Vanguard being a huge vast of resources do not have the skills that I do in the big picture. It's just the facts, right? It's just the facts. Yeah, well, my expectations is, unless there's a problem, yeah, David, Ruko probably right now, I don't like Ruko yet. Um, so my expectations is that we can, again, don't forget there's a presidential election. Now, right now, the market is seeing um, higher markets, okay? That's what the market is saying. Higher markets, right? And therefore, that's where we are continuously focusing on higher mark. Why are we in Apple and stuff like that? Higher Apple, higher mark. Now, if something was to change, Kumar, we will make the necessary adjustment. But as far as I'm concerned, I see market. I'm seeing a great 2020. Higher, 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 higher. Unless it's designed that way. In fact, stock market investing have just put out a video. Apple's King. That's right, Vinny. Stock market investing put out a video talking about fund managers pumping $100 billion into the market now. See, so PowerTarget Trade, as I said, I can see what the market is saying, and you go comb through my live streams, you hear me depict that I read what the market is saying, which is bigger entity than billionaires and whatever you want to call it. I understand what the big money is saying, and I can read it from understanding what key stocks are truly saying. This is a skill most people lack massively. They lack it massively. Okay, services, they are clowns. Okay, if you are lucky enough to get into my group and follow my rules, you have an opportunity of a lifetime to be led by a leader into the next decades to come. You got to ask yourself your question: who do you want to listen to? The people who've been wrong since 2016 to this year now, and missed this whole thing, or have been confused and did not study my YouTube channel. Don't. And I'm sure if you use your brain and start thinking about everything, what's happening in the market, you'll come to the conclusion there is no one better to follow and listen to for everything, for the market direction, than yours truly here, PowerTarget Trade, the big picture leader. That's what I am, bar none. So again, Ruko, David, is not the best stock, right? It's a good stock, but you know what? It can be stuck. But if I do like it, we might make plans. Like, just because, again, I always shift around to where I think is better to go. Okay. And in my opinion, right now, Disney is the best place to go and looking for something to work in Disney. In my opinion, now it's not gonna make the it's not gonna move like a Roku. It won't do that, but it'll make safe, great gains. Okay, you know, Netflix is out of the question. Netflix is out of favor. I haven't even seen it in my scans. Yeah, I mean this one's just completely out of. No wonder I don't see Netflix out of favor. It's Disney now. Disney is now, and things shift now. Disney, I believe, is, again, if I can confirm my plan, Disney is the highest probability winner in the space between Disney, Roku, and Netflix. For the long side, Disney is the best, and it has a lot of potential to go higher. We're talking about long term 200 and higher. But we don't really need that short term. But again, I'm going to discuss this inside my group. Target. I get my group into the best of the best, and it's gotta. And if something is not in my list, I discard it and we move on to something else. It's always adapting and moving to the best probability and trading it with the right money management and holding it properly for the real gains. That's how you succeed long term in the market. You gotta be a confident trader with skill, not a fearful, guessing trader making mistakes. I should have did this, I should have did that. No. Do what's right all the time and you will succeed long term. And that's what I preach and teach and do live streams and manage in my group to empower the people to real success, because that's what's needed now. There are too many clowns out there that all they're looking for is to make money on their subscriptions. That's all it is. They don't have any skill. They're just popping off plans. They don't get into their plan. I get into every single plan because that's how I make my money, through getting into my plans. What people send me as gifts is icing on the cake, so to speak, right? And then that, of course, as we get the more right people, it becomes better. But in reality, it's all performance based. PowerTarget Trade does well. So does my group members that follow my rules. They're able to they're able to show appreciation. And it's a great, powerful group of learning and empowerment for higher prices and a great opportunity for amazing things. Any new people out there that have a question, don't be shy. Any about trading or anything, of mistakes you've made or what we do different, the time is to ask me how. Don't be shy. Don't be a chicken. Don't be a stock clown. Think, empower yourself, study, take action. Because if you want to make money, the market in the money, making money in the market is a great opportunity, but it takes a lot of know-how, which of course you're truly the leader. With a leader behind you, I only really help my members better themselves. I show them their weaknesses and strengths, and I tell them, and I push people to do the right thing. And the ones who don't want to listen, they keep making the same mistakes. Out the door they go. You gotta do well in my group. I give you the tools and powers to do well. And if you follow my rules, you will do well. But if you're gonna be a stock con, out the door you go. Listen, I'm about growth. I can help people. It's an opportunity for you to really grow with skill, with a leader in this. I've been massively correct the big picture. You have not. Most people have not. So, that being said, I have the authority to speak like the way I want to speak. Because I have proven myself. Like, most people are like just nowhere near my level and how I break things down. Okay? And I'm consistent. That's what I'm good at. Okay? I've been at this like 7 days a week for years on end, right? Over 28 years experience in the market. I've gone through all the mistakes of what people usually do. I've gone through that. But I've also studied how to really become and how to really do well and create an amazing strategy that I've been developed over the years. And I've I've been massively correct and improved on top of that since 2016 to now. I keep pivoting the market, defining who is an old world thinker, a stock clown that is wrong, which is the majority, and who is the new leaders. Well, the new leaders are very few people out there, and me being one of the best of them all. Free group, because I want performance from my group. My group should be doing well with me, making money, and it's up to them, right? They don't feel the value. They don't want to learn. They want to be stock clowns. Out they go. Out they go. That's why I have rules. I want people to succeed. That's why I have people who send me great gifts, because they follow my rules, and I know this all works if you follow the rules. I'm trying to make you become successful, and all you have to do is follow a leader. You will never do as well on your own as you will with PowerTarget Trade. You won't even, I tell people, you won't want to do a thing on your own because you won't do as well. Not long term, guarantee you. You go through all my videos, winning videos for 2019, and compare what you've done. Did you catch the kind of winners I did? No. Did you do 5 winners in BA in a row after massive fear? 300% gains in options in some of those plans? No. We're talking about back to back to back, right? Have you did that? No. How about a whole bunch of winners in Roku, a stock that was a 300% winner in stock price? Did you catch a whole bunch of back to back winning plans in that this year? No. How about Apple? Did you catch 5 winning plans in the new highs with the market with Apple? Oh, sorry, 4 winning plans in a row throughout the whole run? Gotta ask yourself these questions. Yeah, we'll wait to see. I'm very nervous holding for the long and taking 5. That's right. So Archer, that's exactly, what Archer said. This is a very good thing what this guy Archer said here. I'm very nervous holding for long and keep taking 50 to 1 hour profits only to see it go much higher. That's right. So you can never win, Archer SU. You can never win this way. That's called clown investing. Loser mentality, fearful, chicken trading. You go study my YouTube channel and you're going to see real trading. That's how you make money, right? But you got to balance it out, right? That's why you have to have the proper funds and attack the market with the right strategies and right money management. And when you do make money, Archer, you the right way, you will feel like a different man. Right now, what you just said right now, right? You got to be, let's be real here, right? You sound like a very fearful person, always resenting. I know that's what a lot of people go through, what you just said right there. And thank you very much for mentioning that that's what you go through. So in order to change that, follow my advice. Have the right money management skills. You come into my group, you follow my rules, it will change for you. But you've got to go through this. You've got to understand that you can't be afraid of loss. As soon as you're afraid of loss, you're going to miss the gains. The wins outpace the losses by a large margin. By the way, Archer S, when you miss the large gains, it's like a massive loss, because when you miss a large gain, that large gain gives you power to catch more gains. Regardless of, for example, you catch a large gain, you get a small loss, then you catch another large gain. Or you catch a large gain, you get 2 small losses, and then you catch another large gain. The large gain with skill empowers you to catch another large gain. But when you do little, you catch little, and you gonna have little wins, little losses, and you're going nowhere. You can have more losses than wins. Skill catching real direction in the right kind of stocks, which is what a lot of people can't do, which is what I can do easily, masterfully, is the key to long-term success in the markets. I'm very glad, I'm proud of you for answering, telling, because that's what a lot of stock clowns, chickens won't do. They don't tell what they do wrong, and because I can tell them, listen, this is what, if they would do it, I could help them. And I just helped you now if you did listen. But then not only that, we're also helping other people as well, Archer you as well as yourself. Now, all you have to do is you got to treat this like you're going to succeed. Like, honestly, if you go at the market like, oh, if I look, you take a certain amount of money, you treat it like a serious business, okay? You work with the right kind of people, and that's the beauty of my group, you know? You do the studying, you get in my group, follow my rules. I mean, if you were in my group right now, you would have been making all kinds of, and if you listen to my rules, you would have made all kinds of gains in Apple Arch SU. Instead, you probably didn't, right? Joseph Roberts says, trust the system and the rules and study. That's right. Very right, Archer. You know that for yourself, right, Archer? I've been talking about Apple. And I'm pretty sure you, on the sidelines, right? Missing the gains. It's not just you. That's just why I tell people to study my winning videos, because they teach you something about mental discipline. Okay? But every video I make is exactly what we've done to make. I did this step by step in my group because I want to make money with my group, because that's my main source of income, is making money with skill in the market. It's not marketing to people like those other stock clowns. Thus, see, that's what people don't understand. A lot of these so-called services are marketers. They are marketing something. They derive most of their income from the marketing, and very small amount from the trading. That's why they just pop out trades. And again, that's too bad for the people not to understand that, right? That they are not. It's very different. That's why my group is very different. That's why it's a free group, and people send gifts out of free will if they see value. If they don't see value, usually because they don't follow my rules, they don't do the right things, right? But it's all my group sees it. All whenever if my group sends a gift, everybody is seeing the gifts. I have so much documented information. It's insane. That's right. Well, if you didn't trade Apple, that's because you were fearful, Archer SU, and the information you know is hindering your performance. You are now. It's about. I don't know what your money. If the problem is if you don't put the right kinds of funds and manage your account properly, you will never succeed, right? And it's going to take you time. Like if you have a small account, you got to be patient. It's going to take you years to develop a good size account. But then but when you do develop a great size, you're going to be able to make great money for years and years. And you got to think long-term success. Short-term success comes and goes. Believe me, it's long-term success. That's why I'm always successful, because I'm basing everything I do is on long-term success with a skill. Yeah, because you don't understand what's going on. Again, you gotta ask yourself your question: why is PowerTarget Trade right all the time? Because what I see and what you see are two different things. Okay, first of all, and that's why it's a leader. If the leader tells you something, you want to follow what the leader says. All you gotta do is follow what the leader says. That's all you gotta do, really. But people are that dumb to not be not able to do that. What they do is they follow what they think to do. They go in too many of one and not enough of another. And they don't balance themselves out. You can't put all everything in one place, right? You just can't do that. It's about how you manage a series of good, high probability stocks, plans, and catch real gains. That's the secret to success. But many people do not know how to get into the right plans, do not know why they should go into something that's going higher. They don't know. Apple right now is a frozen roll pattern, meaning that it's so easy for it to go higher. Every pullback gets bought back and goes higher. Old world thinkers, stock clowns have no skill. People who have 20 years experience are archers. You don't have any skill. Right? Review the videos of Arch. You got to do a lot of studying and self-reflecting, and really reflect on what I'm telling you. Really, and take it to heart. I tell people, take what I'm saying to heart. Don't take these live streams seriously. I'm really telling you the facts. There are so many stock clowns out there. These people have mental issues that don't want to learn the real way of making money. They don't look at themselves. They don't look at the mistakes they make. Always. They only look at the few things that they do get right, but not how much they get wrong or how much they really miss in the big picture of skill things. So a lot of stock clones out there. A lot of them. Any questions, people? Now, by the way, Ash, nice thing about Ash said, I can't make it to the live stream. I'll see it after. I couldn't. She even messaged me saying I can't make it to the live stream. And Ash, new member, has killed it. Follows my rules. Has sent me 5.5K in gifts. Sync that instance, and all she's done, I haven't had to do. She just studied my videos, followed my advice. She's been cleaning up. That's why she's able to send me gifts. You can't send people money. You can't send a person 5.5K without being able to do very well, right? And I have all documented, right? So any clown wants to say something, say, listen, clown, who's sending you gifts out of free will? Nobody, right? Because you have no skill. No skill. All right now. It's an opportunity. My group literally can help a person build themselves. Now, if you have a small, you gotta give it time. But when you build, when you get to that 20K, 30K, you're gonna and you're making that money with skill. You're gonna have financial freedom for the rest of your life. You gotta get the power first. Right? PowerTarget Trade. You know my name. It's about the power, the real move. That's the name. PowerTarget Trade. PowerTarget Trades. The name signifies direction, power. We don't want to trade by baby. We want the power. You understand, people? All right, now. What happened to GS? Stock plans don't all well. GS still could work out. Let's look at GS. So, what happened to GS? Well, nothing really happened. GS is still trading. Still trending. GS is set up to go higher. Okay. The problem is that time. The options that we got in GS, we pulling back. It's holding support, and we did hold support again. If we could pop enough, because we have in the money calls, that it becomes at least a small gain to think. But GS is if you look at this is going to go higher. But sometimes what happens is stocks will go off a different pattern, right? And so it changed, and it was hard because it went like this to this, right? And it was holding support, and it's going to happen. Like I said, remember this. I said nothing's 100%, but that's why we subdivide our plans, right? Now, something like Goldman Sachs, I also go in smaller. When you see me talk about using couple of week options, the problem is if something does go wrong, even though you're right, sometimes you can't get the gains back enough, right? But GS just is part of a pattern. It tends to do this. She makes a flag, pops, flags, pops. I'm expecting another pop will happen, right? But I don't think I'm going to be bothering with GS. Um, Regardless, I will probably go into more other key plans. But regardless, even when you do the right things can go wrong. It's okay. The understanding is that when you do hold for the right reasons, remember, you're going to and you catch the big winners properly with skill. Trust me. Trust me. This stock here has a higher chance to go higher. It's just gonna do it. It could do it too choppily, and it won't be smooth enough for options. So, for me, noting that this happened, we will be focusing on other key stocks. Regardless, in the big picture of things, when we put all our plans together, we're going to be massively ahead, Kumar. So it happens. It's just a natural motion. There's nothing wrong. If you look at this chart over here, you can see there's nothing wrong. This is another flag. You see that? That's just another flag. This tends to do that, and they did it again. They did it again. That's all. But if anything, it is set up to pop to 230 and higher. Will we be getting in Goldman Sachs again? I don't know, because I'm looking for what its higher probability and what's better. Right now, I really don't need Goldman Sachs, and that's something I did go in smaller than other plans. Unlike Apple, I've gone much larger in Apple, as I've told my group the significance and the importance of a higher Apple, or what that means for the market. And of course, I've been massively correct once again. Dexter, GS makes, yeah, that's right. So this could pop in time by Friday. If it doesn't, It doesn't. It's still, I'm not looking to make great gains in it. I'm looking to make two scenarios for Goldman Sachs. Small losses to a break even. With the power wins in Apple and Tesla, it don't matter. You know, when the losers lose short term, it's not actually, it's not a loser until we are out of this. And again, tomorrow and by tomorrow tomorrow Friday, Goldman Sachs could pop to could attempt 222, 224, enough for us to take small losses to break even. So not to worry. But if it doesn't, that's just part of trading, right? Not all of them are winners, but you know what? Most of them are. Greater than 80% are, and majority of them also in the 80% bracket are strong winners. Not all of them, but a majority of them are very strong winners. So when you take all the winners versus what doesn't work out sometimes, even when you did the right things, the winners smash the losses by a large margin. Let's just think about this carefully, right, Kumar? We had Tesla options that were $400 that went as high as 3,000. Not that I caught the 3,000, but you understand that's real direction catching, right? We caught to 1,500 on some of the runners, right? Now, if you buy a Tesla option, and then you lose half of that, that's only 2 points versus catching, which is catching 11 points. You understand? And so when you catch the big wins, when you do catch a loser trying to do the right things, that temporary is then how many? A lot of times, a lot of our stuff just bounces back anyways. The problem was time, because remember, the one factor with options is also time. If something does go wrong, even though you're right, you might lose that particular plan. That's okay. Are you going to follow it up with the proper plan, with another plan, with another key stock? Are you going to keep focusing on what didn't work temporarily? And that's the difference between a winner and a loser. A loser focuses on the loser, continuously not looking to solve the issues. I'm a master at solving problems based on what I see from the market. That's another skill in itself that you can't learn by charts alone. That doesn't matter what you see here. There's way more going on. You do not see what I see. That's the difference. It's high skill levels and tools that I created too that give me a superior edge over anybody out there. Good that you understand, Kumar. That's right. GS both flag. That's right. The question is, does it move fast enough in time? It might do that next week, but guess what? The options that we chose don't have till next week. Doesn't? It's just the way it goes. That's okay. I'm not sweating on myself. Because my positioning in Goldman Sachs was smaller, right? It happens, you know. But you know what? I also have countermeasure plans that, like Apple, for example, just killing it in Apple. If I'm worried about loss, you're not going to catch the gains. It's about doing the right things with skill, without fail. That's the only way. Listen carefully, two people. If the market was easy, everyone would succeed. Again, I'll repeat that again. If the market was easy, everyone would succeed. It is not easy. It takes a lot of skill. Yeah, Apple, I've said this, a higher Apple is very good for the market. So why are people going long when it's breaking out to new highs over and over again? Wrong understanding of the market, don't know how to read the big picture. It's as simple as that, and you got to wake up. Wake up, clowns. If you're sleeping and you say, you know what, this guy's right. I'm missing all the crazy gains. Being a feel for a trader, listening to these other stock clowns out there have no clue. So many out there. They're clowns. If they miss the gains, they're making excuses. Apple's too high. They are clowns. Wake up. They don't know what they're talking about. What are they going to say when Apple's 300? What are they going to say when it's 350? They're going to keep crying, wah. I've already killed it in Apple. Killed it. Long-term holder since $80, since the 7-to-1 split. Apple was a $700 stock before the 7-to-1 split. You know, $600, $700 stock area, right? for the 7-to-1 split. It was a stock that went from 100 to 1,000. Then they pulled it back, and it was there's so much. Listen, I've killed it in Apple, right? And that's why I made so many winning plans. I mean, Apple is being a, and if you haven't, listen, the best traders are the ones who've caught stuff like BA. I'm gonna tell you the secret here. Who caught like all kinds of BA plans like me? They know what they're doing. Like Tesla, like Apple, they know what they're doing. If they haven't, and they've been calling that BA was too high and this was too high, and now they are stock cons, no skill, no skill. All penny day trade, all day traders, no skill. All are fearful. All going to be burnouts. All going to have poor health. Remember, I talked about health and wealth, right? And that's what I'm another metric at. Listen to me. Most of these people are gonna be mentally deranged. They're gonna be gone from these markets. They're gonna be sick, ill. And again, some of the successful day traders, all they are marketers to the dummies who want to make money with people who don't know what they're talking about, who have no skill. That's why they're called. That's why they trade penny stocks. They're great marketers. I warned you. An opportunity lies free inside Power Group Trades. You follow my instructions. I will lead you to the gold. Study my YouTube channel. It's all there. Ask yourself your questions. Why do people send great gifts who study my material? And again, I kick people out because they don't follow rules, because they're not active, because they are going to be losing stock loss. I don't care. If you're a serious person, you're going to be very successful and happy in my group. But if you're going to be a lazy bum, not follow the rules, overtrade your account size, not see the value, not follow the rules, being lazy, out the door you go. I'm about making people become successful, and it's all decisions you can make through study. Good night, Dexter. Dexter, honestly, like he puts in the time. He does really well. He's catching the gains. He follows the rules. Dexter's been around. Dexter sent the gifts. It's it's all documented, man. There's so much powerful information on my YouTube channel. Good night. Good night. Any questions from people out there before I close this up for the night? Because I don't want to do this anymore. Any good questions? Don't be afraid. Don't be a chicken. Lots of chickens out there. Lots of big mouth clowns. They don't want to say a word about anything. Well, like I said, if no one has a question, that means you think you know it all. Don't cry to me when you made a mistake and you didn't ask me a question about how you should handle things, right? So, like I said, my live streams, I do ask questions. I do try to answer the questions. And study. Get inside of Power Group Trades. And we're gonna get to that Vanguard. I don't know what happened to stock market investing, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go check out that Vanguard video, and I'm pretty sure they weren't very optimistic about the market. Vanguard, and we're talking about a huge investment firm. Just go back. He made some videos about, which was great that he made those videos, but those videos also empower what I do. So I'm gonna take a look at the Vanguard video and see what he was saying about that, and then talking about that in another live stream. Have a good night, people. Have a good night.